What's up? It's your boy Neef Buck, the Trash Bag King, Mr. Forever Do Me. Right here chilling with Mikey T, the movie star. It's my favorite white boy.
All right, so Neef, I wanna break into the big spectacle coming out of Philly right now. Meek Mill and Drake.
Right.
What was your thoughts? Like Meek Mill just sells 250,000 albums.
Right.
You know, that hasn't been done in a minute. Mm-hmm. And then the next thing is he comes at Drake for not supporting his album. Like, what were you thinking about that?
At the end of the day, man, a man gonna feel how he feel. I don't really like to vent or like to see other people vent on social network. It's a gift and a curse, that's social media, you know what I'm saying? You know, it can, you know, it can benefit sometime and it can take away from you. You know what I'm saying? But some people, that's all they know. Some people grew up in this internet world where they like go to the internet for everything. You know what I mean? So I don't think it was you know, good thing to do, but you know, a man has the right to feel how he feel. And I know for sure it just wasn't, you know, a lot of people think it's just about tweeting the album or something like that. It's build it up stuff, you know what I mean? But I think, to me, I think, and this is not no like shot to nobody like directly or whatever, I'm just speaking in general, I think the era I came up in was like, is competitive. You know what I'm saying? Like nowadays, every artist wants to be cool with each other and call each other and text each other and do a million songs together. So sometimes you set yourself up for failure. And like, I'm doing stuff for you. You supposed to do stuff for me. You know what I'm saying? Vice versa. If I do a verse for you, then you supposed to do a verse for me. Sometimes it don't work like that. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people not solid. A lot of people not a man of their word. You feel what I'm saying? Just speaking in general in this game. So sometimes you set yourself up for failure or to be disappointed or to be mad at another nigga. But when it's like because of course like I watched the best that ever do it. I watched Jay. You think Jay ain't never like been like a nigga like, alright, you see the shit that happened with like him and Irv Gotti. Like I watched Irv Gotti damn near engineer Super Ugly that was about Nas. Pick the beats out. You know what I'm saying? Like, was in there, like, you know, with the pom-poms, you know what I'm saying? Like, hyping Jay to do whatever he was doing, you know what I mean? And a couple weeks later, he tried to sign Nas. But Jay ain't gonna tweet it out or put it out public. I don't mess with her. I got it and that, you know what I'm saying? You just know what it is at the end of the day. Like, these guys ain't grow up with you from day one. These guys don't owe you no loyalty at the end of the day. So, you know, you got to treat certain motherfuckers like business. It's just business. We just, if a lot of motherfuckers that you know through rap, it's just how the relationship gonna be. If you know a motherfucker through music, then sometimes you know, you gotta respect certain things or you can't be like disappointed in them. It is what it is. So that's why I think, you know, these new rappers go wrong at just, you know, holding motherfuckers up to like higher standards than they really are. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, just because you're a good rapper or make good music and you popping right now, that don't mean you're a solid nigga, solid individual. You know what I'm saying?
And Neef, you actually worked with Meek earlier in his career. I think I seen a video where you and Chris brought him out to South Beach.
Yeah. We was all out. We was all out on South Beach, and we just said we was going to do the video. I flew some guys out there. We did me and Chris did a big mixtape with Don Cannon. It was called Back to Business, and we had a record on there called What We Doing, and we brung Meek to the studio in Philly and let him jump on a hook and did the hook. It was a good record, you know what I'm saying? And we all went to Miami for Alonzo Mourning weekend when they were still having that in Miami, so the whole Philly was out there. And we was like, we gonna knock the video out and just have some fun, man. You know, we go back, we got history. It's like funny, like we got a lot of history together, and like a lot of people don't know, like we introduced him to Wale like years before Maybach started, you know what I'm saying? So like we used to go up, shout out to Wale and everything, you know, what's going on with him right now. We used to go to DC for Wale's birthday every year, and him and KD. Shout out to Kevin Durant. They have a birthday weekend that they do every year in DC. So we used to go out there all the time or whatever and mess with Wale. And one year, I think we was with Meek somewhere. He was by himself. He was like, we was telling him what we wanted to do, where we was about to go, and he was like, I'll ride up there with y'all. We rode up with him, introduced him to Wale. This one, Wale, like, he just like Nike boots was out and a couple other things. Well, he might have had his deal with Mark Ronson at the time. I'm not sure. But this was like when we was kicking it with Wale a lot. Like if people go back to the Nike Boots video, me and Chris in there wilding out in Club Love, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, a lot of people don't know we got history together. Playing live and PlayStations and games, betting money on Grass Street, hustling and playing video games for thousands of dollars. So you got history. He know what's up. He know what it is.
What made you guys want to extend your, hand to Meek back in the day? Was it his talent?
Yeah, his talent. Then we got a lot of mutual homies. We all from North Philly. We all from Philly at the end of the day. It's small, you know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, with us, man. And if you hot, we gonna embrace you at the end of the day. It felt like Day One could have been on Tough Love album when we lost our homie Larry Anderson. Rest in peace, LA. He wasn't the average Joe or whatever, so we keep his name still alive to this day. Tough Love came out 2004. It's 2015. I'm still making records about him, letting his name live on. I met him through school, and then I introduced him and Chris and everybody else from my neighborhood later or whatever. But I was like the first one from my neighborhood going down 15th and York and hanging with him and doing things and hanging out at Aunt Peach's crib and stuff like that. Like people from Tough Love and our music from then to now, they feel like they, we made them, we brought them into our world, so they feel like they're a part of our, legacy, our movement, the things that we talk about. We got them to know us. You know what I'm saying? So,
what was he actually to the clique?
He was just a soldier. He's a Day One homie. He's a soldier. He ain't do no music or nothing like that. He's a soldier. And it's funny that like this how important he is. Like I could tell you a story about my homie LA. The first time I heard the record Tough Love, when Chris talking to me, you know that record, Mikey?
Tough Love?
Yeah. Tough Love is when Chris talked to me, and he had that record, man, is like none of it is like none before it, none to come. When two artists, a group, venting to each other on the record. Chris didn't even want to let me hear the record. The record probably would have never been on the album. The album probably would have never been Tough Love. None of that. LA took it and let me hear it. Like, yo, Neef, I want you to hear this or whatever, and I want you to rap on it or whatever. Like, give your opinion on how you feel about the whole situation and stuff like that. And I remember like it was yesterday. We was doing like a big N1 concert. That's when N1 was popping. We did like a big N1 concert on like Columbus Avenue in Philly. And he pulled me to the side and took me in the car and let me hear the joint. That was my first time. Man, I probably would have never heard it, because Chris had the record or whatever, but he couldn't really, tell me that. It was just a little different. Like how me and Chris come up, it's a little, like he wouldn't really want to, say stuff like that to me. That's why he put it in the music or whatever, but he still ain't really want to let me hear it. So LA took it upon himself to let me hear the record, and I went up New York like the next day or the next 2 days by myself. I caught the train up there, and I came in the studio and knocked it out. Me and Guru recorded it, and then probably like an hour later, Jay came in the studio and was like, I had it off, but I knocked it out or whatever. And then Jay came in the studio. He's like, yo, you heard the joint or whatever. And I was just like, Guru, play it. 'Cause I knew he was talking about, but he ain't never heard my verse on it. So when he heard it, it fucked him up. It was like, I never forget that. You know what I mean? That was a classic time in my, in my music.
Damn, so
music, hip hop.
So Neef, could you just take me into like that time frame, like What is it like when with Jay-Z walking into the studio? Is it a common thing back then, or is it like he's like the CEO type coming?
No, it was a common thing back there. That's the homie. That's the homie, you know what I'm saying? This baseline, this was in baseline, so, you know, he stayed in there, whatever. Even when he wasn't recording, he'd come through and check up on us. If he heard something he liked, he jumped on it, you know what I'm saying? So, that's the homie, that's the big homie, that's the big bro. So, you know, it was just funny that it all happened like that. Him coming in the studio asking me did I hear the record that Chris was talking about me. And then I just knocked it out. I was up there by myself. I remember like it was yesterday in baseline. Me and Groove knocked it right out. I just came up specifically to do that. And I was just like, Google played the joint, and he heard it, he went crazy, like, oh, like this is crazy. And then, you know, we had to name the album Tough Love, and like that song wasn't really to like put on an album, or we was working on an album or nothing like that. It just, everything fell in place, everything just timing, and you know, if it's meant to be, it'll be.
What was it like going into the second album? Did you think there was gonna be a second album, or?
Oh yeah, for sure. Tough Love did gold. You know what I mean? We had, you know, Can't Stop, Won't Stop, No Better Love. We had big records. You know what I mean? So we knew we was gearing up for the second album or whatever. And you know, we was like I say, we was on tour when Jay, you know, was making his decisions to move forward and you know, be president of Def Jam and take Roc-A-Fella on his own. And he was just telling us he wanted us to be a big part of his decision, and we went right in and started working. Went and seen Swizzy, did some records with Swizz, and you know, we was doing a body work back in Philly, back and forth to New York to Philly doing a body work. And, you know, we came up with a campaign, and you know, what just went in. I don't think we had all the pieces to the puzzle, because everything was so new. I think we was Roc-A-Fella usually had his own staff, like people that just was for Roc-A-Fella. And then, you know, we did what we did, and Def Jam would catch up to what we was doing. Like, we white label Can't Stop, Won't Stop by ourselves, as far as Roc-A-Fella. Not us, me and Chris, but Roc-A-Fella, Dame and them, they white labeled that and start putting, you know, pushing that by themselves. And then Def Jam comes along and back it with the big machine and really go in with it. So when Jay was president of Def Jam, it's like our whole staff, it was over for that. Now everything's running through Def Jam, exactly. Like, we don't really have nobody up there for us but Jay. You know what I'm saying? All these other people, Def Jam got like 100 artists at the time, so we not really priority. You know what I'm saying? We just getting whatever we getting. They doing whatever they doing. They servicing a bunch of records at one time to the DJs. So you know it's gonna be different. And Jay just really got in position, and it was all new. And I think just the marketing, the promotion, everything that behind the scenes that makes shit happen wasn't there. It wasn't, you know, locked and loaded like it would have been. You know what I'm saying? When everybody was involved, when we had all our own staff that just worked for us and just was worrying about Roc-A-Fella music.
So, you know, a lot of people actually talk about Jay-Z's, you know, time on Def Jam. Like, how long were you with Def Jam for during that whole time?
Well, you know, we signed to Roc-A-Fella, but Roc-A-Fella's Def Jam is the big label, so we signed to Def Jam at the end of the day. So we was signed from signed for like 2001, because we inked like a while before our first album came out, because we did 2 State Property albums, did movies, you know what I'm saying? So we was doing things in between them. So, you know, we got the funny thing is, we was on Def Jam. We got ourselves out of Def Jam because we was still on Def Jam even when Jay, you know, did his own thing, the Roc Nations, when he started all that stuff. We was still on Def Jam, but Chris had a situation that he wanted to do with Rico Love at the time, and I was chilling. I wasn't doing too much music. I was mixing and doing what I was doing and whatever. I fell back from the music for a little while, and he came to me like, yo, he wanted to get out of the contract with Def Jam, and you know, he needed me to sign off, you know what I'm saying, as a group, so he could do his own solo shit that he wanted to do with Rico Love. And you know, I ain't gonna never hold my brother back from nothing he want to do, you know what I mean, off top. And then I wasn't really even with the music at the time, so shit, I signed off on it. And we still, I ain't even gonna hold you, but if Young Gunz coming out with an album tomorrow, they still get a piece of it, you know what I'm saying. We had to leave with giving them something, you know what I'm saying. So tour with him.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you about that actually.
Yeah, 50 used to come mess with us, man. Listen, man, 50, man, he one of my favorite. I just like what he stand for and what he represent, and he got to where he got by like staying solid. To me, in my opinion, from what I see and what I know, he got to where he got like without sucking no dick or kissing no ass and being himself all the way, and put his people on, took his people with him, and put them in position to get money. You know what I'm saying? Like I seen a lot of bosses do it, and I like the way I respect his grind and how he did it and how he set his people up. You know, put them in position. He could have did a lot of things. Like I always hear him say, like after Get Rich or Die Trying, he, you know, of course the label would have wanted him to do another album. He said, hold up, I'm gonna put my team in position. I'm gonna do, because when we was on Rock the Mic tour, I used to see promotion for the motherfucking G Unit album. Like before I even heard it on record, they was already knew what they was doing and they was setting it up for that. But a lot of other motherfuckers would have went and did them again. You know what I'm saying? They would have followed right up after selling 10 million records. But he said, "Oh, I'm gonna put my peoples in position because this gonna give me longevity at the end of the day." Fucking, you know, and he making money off of it at the end of the day. Set Banks up and Ayo and Buck and all of them. You know what I'm saying? So it was a good look. A lot of bosses ain't gonna move like that. A lot of people in his position, you know, wouldn't do nothing like that. So I definitely respect that. But he used to come to our dressing room sometimes and mess with us and talk shit to us and all that. And him and Freeway had a good relationship. Him and Freeway was on like a smaller tour, I think, like before that. So he always had a lot of love for Freeway. He liked the Freeway. He fucked with all of us. You know what I'm saying? 50. He always like kept his eye on Philly. And he liked Philly niggas that I can tell. Like all his interviews, he always big us up. He big up the little motherfuckers that came up from under us. You know what I'm saying? The DVD era and all that. He always showed love to Philly. Always. I don't even never hear him talk about New York rappers or rappers from different cities as much as he talk about Philly rappers. You know, he respect our craft and what we bring to the game.
When you actually met him, it was it pre Get Rich or Die Trying, or was it in the middle of Get Rich or Die Trying?
When they went on, I think my first time really seeing him, we getting a chance to bust it out with him was Rock the Mic tour.
And I think that must have been right before the G Unit album, like you were saying.
It was like 2003, you think? I think 2003.
Yep, it must have been right after his album.
Remember him and Jay did the Reebok shit. They both had to deal with Reebok, and that shit was just dope, man. It was a great thing to do, man. Like the nigga, you know, for him to sell 10 million records, I don't even think Jay dropped the album that year, and he was going on before Jay. And like he used to come back there and tell us, like, at the end of the day, he wanted to be a part of something that's hot. At the end of the day, something that was, you know, fire, and something that was going to remember, and it was going, you know, make a mark in hip hop.
You before you actually got back with the team and started doing a number of shows and dates and shit. So how's it having everybody back together?
It's love, man. I feel like you know, back in the days, it feel like 2003, 2002, you know, 2004, man. It just felt good to have all my brothers on stage together. We got so many records that the people love together, and you know, it just strength is in the numbers, man. You know. And we could have been getting a bunch of money together and going on a road and, you know, giving the people what they want. We're gonna do some new music hopefully soon, and, you know, do some films. We're gonna do everything we was doing on steroids. But it's just going to the markets that people, you know, they love us and they've been fucking with us since day one, and they've been wanting us to come to their city for years. Like we just did New Orleans. Oh, New Orleans was crazy. Every chick, every nigga in the building singing word for word, every song going crazy. They still talking about it to this day. I got homies out there, I got chicks out there that I fuck with. They saying it's the best show they seen in years out there. You know what I'm saying? It was crazy. So, you know, just getting that love back, man. You know what I mean? Because people, you know, they still support us to this day. You know what I mean? Even though everything we put out ain't on the mainstream, it ain't backed by big machine or whatever. It's just like if they your fans and they believe you, man, they're gonna rock with you no matter what, your ups and your downs. You know what I'm saying? Good music is good music at the end of the day. So, you know, it just feel good to have all my brothers on stage together, and you know, we doing them hit records and feeding off of one another, feeding off one another, and just still sharp and still, man. It's a beautiful thing to see everybody. Oskino out of jail, Beans out of jail. He getting back healthy 100%. And, you know, just banging out, having a good time.
Neef, I was asking you, what's the process got to be like for you guys to all come back together and put together an album? Because there's a lot of you.
Yeah, it's like, it might start off with people bringing to the table. Everybody, you know, Chris do music by himself. We do music together. I do music by myself. Everybody's like got these solo things going on. So at the end of the day, we bring to the table what we all been working on. We might have some beats. We might have some shit that's halfway done. We might have some hooks. So we bring together what we got. And, you know, we pick what we want. We come up with shit together. It's just like gumbo. We mix everything and see what we got, see what's going to make it, see what's hot. Free might have something crazy with a hook on it. They got somebody else on it. We might say, come on, you know, get on this. Such and such may sound good on this. And we just put all the pieces to the puzzle and make it happen.
So, Neef, I actually seen that you were running, you ran into ARAB recently.
Yeah, I ran into ARAB. He had it was funny. He was having something at like one of my neighborhood bars, and we just stopped in there to play pool and just hang out, me and Chris. And the shit had just dropped. What was it? I think the record had just dropped the Drake back to back, and you know, all the speculation was going on, and we seeing all the tweets and we seeing all the Instagram posts. So it was just crazy in Philly at the time. And you know, I ain't seen him in a while. Just happened to run into him or whatever, and somebody that's affiliated with me and affiliated with Meek and them, they must have put up something. So when he seen me, he came and hollered at me about the situation or whatever. And you know, we was just busted up about just everything that been going on and stuff like that. And me and Ab got a relationship. We go back or whatever, like we really did. We got a hit before we did any records together. We got one record together with my man Ready Rock called Moving Weak. And you know, it's a street banger in Philly or whatever. The video out is crazy. But we had history in the streets. You know what I'm saying? Before I was always doing music. I don't even know if he was doing music at the time. He was doing a little bit of music, but he wasn't like buzzing and stuff like that, right? Like he is right now. So, you know, we go back somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? It's beyond the music. We really did things in the streets. So, you know, and shout out to everything they doing or whatever. I just hope it don't get out of hand. You know what I'm saying? I know a lot of people in that camp, and I know a lot of people in his camp. You know what I'm saying? At the end
Can it get out of hand?
Yeah, because it's at the end of the day, a lot of people deal with pride. You know what I'm saying? And like, you know, sometimes you can't control the foot soldiers. So it might not be the bosses of the crew or the leaders of the crew. Sometimes it might be the foot soldiers. You know what I'm saying? And like in this industry today, man, you know, pride is a lot, and it's like, you know, like if somebody say something about you and you see them, it's like hard to just walk right past them. Like you might not even be coming at them like aggressive, but you might ask somebody like, "Yo, what was the situation? You know that you said about blah 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 blah." And another nigga like pride might just get in the way and just be like, you know what I mean? So it can get out of hand. You know what I'm saying? Like a motherfucker confronting you sometimes. A motherfucker automatically think like you trying to play me or you trying to check me or like you coming at me on some shit. So it's just like, you know, it's a messed up. Like when I was talking to Ab, and at the end of the day, that's what we was basically saying. Like it's a fucked up situation. Like me, I try to not to put myself in them type of situations where I have to do something or I have to do something to somebody or you know what I mean, or somebody in my team have to do something to somebody. I try to even not to put myself in them situations at the end of the day. You know what I mean?
And then a couple days after you talk to Ab, out of the blue, Meek Mill comes out and says, ARAB.
That shit was crazy, man.
Why not just bring ARAB out in Philly and sign him and say, there's my move against you there, Drake?
It's different. I don't know everybody's situation or you know, cause they had a relationship before. Like a lot of things I don't know nothing about. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot, we OGs in the game, man. We stay in our own lane, and you know, them guys, they respect us and we respect them. And you know, we keep it neutral with everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like it ain't no love lost from from no camps or whatever. Like, we want everybody to be successful at the end of the day because they putting on for our city. You know what I'm saying? We don't want to have that bullshit going on in our city. We got enough killings and unnecessary violence and murders and all the bullshit going on. So, you know, we don't need that. Nothing to stem from rap and making us, you know, look bad in the game. Like, the motherfuckers ain't going to want to deal with us because we on some bullshit, you know.